Hey friends, thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to be making a gallery wall, and I'm going to be adding a little more patriotic decor to my home. So I'm headed to Staples, I'm going to get some things printed, we're going to come back and I'm going to show you the updates that I make to my home. So friends, thank you so much for joining me today. I always appreciate you guys being here with me. So let's get started. Friends, today's video is going to be super short and sweet, and I apologize ahead of time. I wasn't sure I was even going to be able to get this video out to you guys, so I hope you'll understand, and hopefully next Friday or this Friday's video will be longer. But this is where I want to do my gallery wall, and as you can see, I've got this gorgeous print up that I've had since spring and Easter, and so I'm going to take that down, and then here are some of the frames that I have thrifted. I think I've showed most of these to you. I did just recently get this one. I think that's so pretty. And so yeah, I just went to Staples to get some prints printed because my printer is not working. Here's another frame that I recently picked up, and I just adore this picture. I think it is absolutely stunning, and it was such a great find for $1.99. But friends, let's go ahead and add in the prints that I got into these frames, and I am just cutting them to size. And of course I just sized mine in Canva, had them printed, and then I'm just using painter's tape to keep them in place. I think that works so much better than actually using Scotch tape. But as you can see, this other print was inside that frame. I just love that. I'm going to go ahead and put them back, and that way I'll know where they are, and when I want to use them again, they will be right here with this frame. Here's kind of a look at what everything is looking like. I apologize for the glare. All of these have glass on them, and I just went ahead and left the glass. I could have taken it off, but I thought I would just leave it on. But I will give you a close-up view of what these look like in just a second. So here's the wall where I want to add my gallery wall, and as you can see, it looks so bare. I'm not used to it looking so plain, so let's fix that and add in my gallery wall items. So you guys, if you watched me last year, I did the flag coming out of the frames. I loved it. I used a different frame for the big one, but I wanted to recreate that because I loved it so much. So I thought I would put that in the center and then add my pictures around it. So I'm hoping I have enough space to do that. But friends, I don't want to ruin this flag. This is a really old cotton flag, and so the only thing I'm going to do is use that painter's tape again, and I'm just going to like make tucks and then just tape it to the back. Now as you can see, they do have those rings where I could maybe, I don't know, put a nail or maybe even a staple. I could staple this, but I just, like I said, I just don't really want to put holes in the back. So this painter's tape will work perfectly. So that's what I'm going to use. Again, you could put maybe a small little nail in there to hold it down on those grommets, but I'm just going to tape it, and I think that will be perfect. Now, while I'm doing this, you know, you have in your mind what you think it's going to look like, and of course I thought I needed to tape it all the way across the top, but actually I'm going to change that in a minute because I don't really like that look. But friends, this was such a hard place for me to film with what I was trying to do. I apologize. I was climbing on top of the chair, on top of the couch, so it was a hot mess, but I'm just going to share with you the process as best I can. As you can see, I hung the other frame, and I'm just going to take that and pull it through, or that's what I was thinking. Now when I step back and look at it, I'm going to make a few changes, but that's what I love, is you can always just tweak things. If they're not the way you like them, you can fix them, and that's what I'm going to have to do right here. Like, I do not like the flag all the way across the top. So I took off some of the painter's tape and just made it go halfway, and then I pulled it through. Now this look is okay, but I think I'm going to change it and make the flag go over that frame and then hang out. So let me share with you what that looks like. Okay, I think I like this better. So you guys tell me which way you like it. Do you like it over, or did you like it under? So, you know, I could mess with this forever to get the look that I want, but you know, this will do for now. Let's go ahead and try to figure out where we want to place those frames. I definitely have a lot more limited space, so I'm going to have to figure out what to do now. My plans have changed because I just don't have enough room to add on each side what I was thinking. But as you can see, here's how all of those beautiful prints turned out. And friends, I just take them and I just crop them in Canva or make the adjustments that I need. I make them the size I need, and then you can just take them and print them. But I love this one. It's a Star Spangled Banner. I think that is so fun. I love this July 4th one, and then I've got this really pretty one at the top. I love this Uncle Sam. I just love how this is all coming together. So I've got the one side down. So let's move over and let me share with you how I did the other side. Friends, look at these pictures. They are so pretty. And again, you can find them on Etsy to buy them, or you can search them on Pinterest or even Google and look for free images that you can use. Also, the Graphic Fairy is also a really good place if you want to download some vintage prints. I absolutely love how these turned out, and I just printed them on regular paper. You know, when I print them at home, I try to use cardstock, but since my printer wasn't working, I just, like I said, I went to Staples and I just printed them on regular paper. They do have nicer paper than what I have at home, but still, I just thought it worked out perfectly, and it only cost me just a few dollars. Okay, friends, I'm going to share with you also just a few things that I added in, which wasn't much. We're going to come back hopefully on Friday, and I will share with you some more updates that I make to my home, adding in some more patriotic decor. But I was out going through some of my stash of things, and I come across these plastic Scrabbles. And I've got the wood ones, but these were bigger and they were white, and so I thought, you know what, I'm going to use them. So I spelled out USA, and then I was able to get a couple more words that I'm going to use in my home, and I just thought it was a fun addition just to add in. But as you can see, all of this is still the same, and again, I'm going to make a few more changes. I'm going to add to my coffee table, which is that old trunk that I have. I'm going to actually change that up because it's not patriotic at all. It's more has to do with summer and gardening, so I'm going to work on that. But here's the other one I made. This is America. Again, I showed you this last week, last week I showed this thrifting video of how I styled this really pretty brass little compote dish that I found. Thought it was so pretty. I love how that turned out. Of course, just added a flag to that old spool. And right here, as you can see, this is what I'm going to change up. And hopefully I'll be able to share this with you on Friday. Let me know what you think of the gallery wall and what your thoughts are. I think I'm really going to enjoy having all this up here. Friends, before I go, I just wanted to share with you guys this amazing update that I found. One of my subscribers gave me some information about the owner of this Bible and the other books. I don't know if you remember my thrifting video, I found this Bible at one thrift store, and then I went back another time to a different thrift store and I found these books. Now they do have the same last name, and what I was thinking was maybe this was her parents, and because the Bible says it was given to her by her mom and her dad. And so upon doing some research, these books were actually Naomi's mom and dad. And her dad was a preacher. And when I was doing some research, I found out that Miss Naomi lived to be 101 years old. Isn't that so amazing? Friends, she also went to high school, and when she graduated from there, she went to college. She got a BS in home economics, and she taught school. I just thought that was so amazing. And you know what? It just goes to show you just never know what kind of treasures that you're going to run upon. I was so thankful to have these books that belong to her precious mother and dad. And I got to read a little bit about their story. And then, of course, Sweet Naomi. And I just wanted to share with you what a special treasure that these are. Thank you so much for being here and watching today's video. I apologize for it being so short. But friends, before I go, I want to share with you this Bible verse, and I also want to ask you if you would please continue to pray for our sweet friend Angie. I pray the eyes of your heart may be enlightened, so that you may know what is the hope of his calling. Ephesians 1:18. Friends, God has that certain purpose for each of our lives, and I pray that you will search the Lord and ask him to reveal that to you. Friends, thank you for being here. We appreciate y'all so very much. And friends, we look forward to seeing the next one. Bye, y'all.